Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections. And I am here to interview Mujahid Raza, who was originally from a village or a town near Lahore, Pakistan. But right now he is living in Hamburg, Germany, and we're going to find out more about that in a few moments. I want to remind you that this show, like all of my shows, is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is promoting peace one conversation at a time. Mujahid, can you please introduce yourself?
I am Mujahid Raza, and you already introduced me that I belong from Pakistan, one city that is Gujarat. And I am engaged in agriculture as a food safety and quality management specialist. And from last 8 years, I am in Germany.
What brought you to Germany?
I come to Germany because when I finished my bachelor, I start working in 2 different banks in my country as in the agriculture sector as a agriculture inspector. So then I thought that I need to continue my studies. And during that time, I was at the brink to select either Germany or Australia. So I choose Germany over Australia or Pakistan because the research capabilities and overall the working culture and the for personal and professional development is conducive in Germany as compared with Pakistan or at the moment I think in other countries. Yeah.
Can you speak a little slower so it's easier to understand you? You're interested in agriculture. What was it that made you interested in studying agriculture and promoting it?
Agriculture is basically a field which deals with the animals, basically with life, that is also animal life and plant life. I am a person who is very attracted by the nature. So agriculture is a field in which we work with the nature. We are in the nature, we work with the nature, and we promote nature. So no matter how long the human beings will live on this planet Earth, so the influence of agriculture or the usefulness of agriculture or the importance of agriculture is cannot be denied. So it goes side by side with human civilization. When we see into our future, and when in 2050, when they say there will be around 10 million people on this universe, and how to feed these 10 billion people on this universe with these limited and scarce resources of water and other resources, and the land under cultivation is decreasing due to new housing societies and these stuff. So then the role of agriculture becomes more pivotal, because then we need to enhance and improve the production capabilities. Yeah. So these things led me to be an agriculture or agriculturist, or to promote agriculture sector.
So why in your mind is agriculture so very, very important?
As I already said, in 2050, it is expected that there will be...
Slow down a little, please.
Okay.
Because there are people who watch this who do not speak English normally. Okay. And when you're speaking fast, it makes it very, very difficult for them to understand because of the different sounds. So I understand you, but I need you to speak a little slower. Thank you.
As I already said, that there is a projection that by 2050, there will be around 9 to 10 billion people on this universe. And as the land and the other resources are diminishing, and we are not adding any new resources that are needed for agriculture production, so the role of agriculture becomes more important in this when we talk about with this perspective. And that is one factor. And other second factor is that there are three basic human necessities. The one is cloth, and then is shelter, and then is food. So agriculture is one field which tackle or covers these all three basic necessities. So agriculture not only provide us food or the resources for food, the clothing, and then the shelter. So most of these resources, they are coming from agriculture or the byproducts of agriculture products. So I think that's a big enough motivation to be an agriculturist or to be in an agriculture industry.
Now, was your family into agriculture?
No, my family is not into agriculture because my father and my uncle, they are mostly they are from banking sector, and some are with military background. They are serving in, yeah, Pakistan military or somehow, but not in agriculture sector. Mostly they are service oriented people involved in different sectors, as I mentioned.
Okay. So where did your interest in agriculture begin?
My interest begins when I finished my college studies, and after actually I was aiming for a doctor, to be a doctor, and I applied for MBBS, that is for doctor medical doctor degree, and then I switched to agriculture at that time because one of my connection told me about the agriculture and the benefits that the people who get to who involved in the agriculture industry or agriculture sector. Then I joined Agriculture University, Faisalabad, that is very famous university in Pakistan and internationally renowned university. And then this journey begins, and yeah, it's still going on. And I hope it will continue till my last breath.
I'm sure it will. I want to try this question in a different way. Sometimes when someone gets inspired to do something, it's because something happened in their life and they think, oh, this is interesting, and they decide to work on that particular thing. I understand that you became interested in agriculture during your college days. What happened that inspired you to study agriculture so deeply as you are now?
I already mentioned in one of my answer that the fascinating.
No, listen to my question, because I have been listening to you. I'm not looking for that answer. I'm looking for, we know that food is important.
Yeah.
But something must have happened in your life that made you think, oh, agriculture is what I want to do. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, sure. That is the triggering point that always come in human life that induce or influence decisions. That's right. For me, the nature, because I am keen observer of nature, the nature beauty that is in the shape of flowers, that the landscape, and yeah, the fruits and vegetable, that fresh products, they fascinate me because when I was in my university, there are a lot of sections that man can join or further specialize, but I prefer to be in horticulture. Horticulture means there are fruits, there are vegetables, there are ornamentals, there are medicinal plants. So I think the love of nature, or the uh, embezzlement, or the fascination I got from this nature, and the pleasure of being in nature, that was the motive, or that was the trigger that that I started this journey of agriculture, or I started to be engaged in agriculture sector.
Did you live in a farming village for the most part when you were in Pakistan?
When I grew up in a small village. So at that time, I was in a village that a lot of people do farming, but not, they are mostly absentee landlords, not landlord, because there are small holdings, so we cannot say them landlord, but they are mostly absentee. So normally they don't uh, do farming by themselves. And when I start working in my bank as an agriculture finance officer or mobile credit officer with Agriculture Development Bank of Pakistan, at that time I was also engaged with farming people who are engaged in farming, or livestock farming, or fruit farming, vegetable farming, all sort of farming. So I was in larger part of my life, I was somehow engaged with the agriculture sector, one way or the other way, as a student, or as a service provider, or as a minor profession. So it has been into my blood somehow that I am as where I am.
Did you spend a lot of your life running around fields and picking vegetables and eating fresh fruit?
No, I didn't pick myself fresh fruits or so, but I work as a manager, quality manager. So I control or check the workers who are doing this picking process. So I overlook them and I supervise them. That I do. But personally myself, I didn't do any picking or stuff like that. But yeah, I work with the people who are involved with picking and related stuff.
Let me ask that question a little differently. I know that when I go to a farm and I see a wonderful strawberry, I may pick it and eat it.
Mhm.
Or if I see an apple on a tree and it really is talking to me, I may pick it and eat it. Did you do any of those things?
As a quality manager, I was supposed
No,
to
no,
check.
no. I'm asking you as a boy. When
the-
you were a boy, was that something you loved to do? You know, just be in the fields and pick something. And
Yeah, sure. When we were young and early days in our life, we go to fields, and yeah, we certainly pick vegetables, carrot or turnip, or other stuff. And then we have that tube wells, because in our side there is no canal irrigation system. It's a Barani rain-fed area. So then there were tube wells, and then the fresh vegetables you pick from the field, and then to you wash it with that fresh water and eat it in that sun shine. And that is another life experience. And then the early days, yeah, that's another part of life. That is it's a fairy tale kind of stuff in early days, when you don't have any responsibilities and you are free to do, and yeah, you can do whatever you like, no accountability stuff. And yeah, that's the best part of the life. So I certainly have done such things. Yeah.
why do you say fairy tale? It wasn't a fairy tale. You were doing this. This was a big part of your life.
I am saying the childhood period as a fairy tale, because at that time your what is called opinion about life, your experiences, or your dreams and aspirations, they are like that you want you are very high in your aspirations. And that's why I am saying this as a fairy tale, because at that time everything sounds very fascinating, because in your experiences, in your memory, everything is new, so you are learning and acquiring everything. So whenever we learn anything or acquire anything, so at the start it's very fascinating, and then it becomes a routine matter. So then it's a different feeling or meaning to us.
Wonderful. So we talk often about being an entrepreneur and living our passion. Is your passion to live around nature? Is your passion to deal with just enjoying nature?
Yeah, that is my passion, nature, agriculture, and then also the people, because I think that's also the part of nature, the people. And without people, we cannot do anything, even with the nature. Even if we are planning to do anything with the nature, or to make something out of it, then too we need people. So yeah, it's my passion, and I hope I can do anything in this regard or in this direction. And that's why I find Rehan Allahwala's initiative of this connecting people very interesting and very useful, because somehow it is also bridging up the gaps between communities, between different sectors of people, and just making them amalgamate of one product, and that is human intellect at its highest point or peak, or at least to making an effort to bring it to a peak.
Now, now that you've said that, do you really think when you were a child and you were so interested in all these different ways of life that it wasn't a fairy tale, or is it something you want to make become real now?
One reason why I call it a fairy tale, because when I was young, I used to read a lot of books. So somebody other day saying in an TV show of a book that is a local book in our Urdu literature, that is a biography of one author, Mumtaz Ali Mufti. Maybe you don't know, but Rehan Allahwala or the people from Pakistan know it. And his biography is around 1,000 pages. Its name is Alipur Ka Ali. And I have written that 1,000 pages book in 3 days, only 3 days. So I was a bookworm to say, and I read a lot of books. And when we read books, so it opens up us to different possibilities and different aspects of life that which are not known to us, or to which we are not familiar at that minor age. So that also one aspect that make my life a little fairy tale. Yeah, so I used to read a lot of books, and yeah, that was the one factor that makes that side time of my life more like a fairy tale, because then you read books, then yeah, you desire sometime some authors inspires you, some situations inspires you, so you want to be like that, or you wish to be like them sometime. So that was the aspect, I think.
Wonderful. So is it a fairy tale or is it reality for you?
Now my life, or yeah.
No, it's a fairy tale. Living around nature, is it a fairy tale for you or is it a reality?
Now it's a reality, but at that time it was a fairy tale. You know, I think it's some great scientist said, or somebody said, that any great things before they come into real being, they are the product of the mind. They are first being made in the mind, and then they are actualizes in real life. So whatever we do, whatever we achieve in our life, is first come into our mind. It's as a thought, as an idea, or as a plan. So then they materialize into things, or yeah, as an achievement or as an success. So now it's a reality, but that time it was a fantasy or one dream.
Would you say that a fantasy is your passion? And if you live your passion, you bring your passion into reality.
I think that's what all entrepreneurs are doing. They are passionate about something, and they have dream for something to achieve or success, and then they bring their passion and their desire and dream together and into a product of reality. I think that's a normal thing. That's every entrepreneur is doing, or yeah, supposed to do, to achieve their goals or success. I think that's the proven path of success for most of entrepreneurs or businessmen, we can say.
So, are you living your passion, or are you living something that someone else wants you to do?
I am living my passion. No doubt, I can say that. Yeah, because if someone can guide us or teach us to a path, yeah, but how to go by that and go far, I think it's our own decision or our own destiny, or it is an outcome of our own results or efforts. Nobody can follow us or take us to wherever we want or wherever we wishes to be. I think teacher or guide or coach path is to just show us the path, and the rest is on our own. How to tackle it, fast, slow, how long it will take, that's a matter of time. And then comes the factor of coaching, training, and stuff like that. Because sometimes a good coach like Rehan Allahwala can decrease that cycle or path. Because if we try to find the path by our own self, then we will waste certainly a lot of time in hovering here and there and aimlessly, or we will make more mistakes, and we will detrack sometime. But on a coach or a guide purpose is to make us focus, directed, and to the point.
I have a question about something you said. You said
Yeah.
we make mistakes. When we make a mistake, are we not learning and becoming better at what we need to do? We all need to make mistakes every day.
I am forgetting the name of the inventor who invented that bulb, electricity bulb. He have tried, I think, more than 1,000 times, and then he come up with an idea how to do it. And somebody asked him, "You failed 1,000 times," and he replied, "No, I know 1,000 ways by which this bulb cannot be invented." Maybe I am not quoting the right invention, but the story is somehow like that. So whenever we are confronted with failures or mistakes or stuff like that, so it's only an indication that okay, try other thing, go around, find a way. It's like that when a door is closed, so it doesn't, sometimes there is a wall in our way, so we don't stuck ourselves to that place, we just find around and find a door. So mistakes or hurdles are like that, so they are just indication. Okay, do something differently. Change your approach, change your path, change your strategy, change your mindset, do something differently, and then you will get different results.
Right. So, as an entrepreneur, do you want to make mistakes, or do you always want to be right?
I will quote here Alan Muzik, his first flight rocket that was exploded and that could not reach to the space. So people ask him that you wasted a lot of money and stuff like that, and then now he succeeded. So he says, if you don't make mistakes, so it means you are not growing. So if you are making mistake, that is a sign that you are growing, and if you stop making mistakes, so that means you stop growing.
Absolutely. So I still want to get back to fairy tale with you because I
Okay.
learned it made me think in a different way. When we're kids, we live our life and we're going out and playing and having a good time. Why should that not be the case when we are older and we are adults? Why can't we always have a good time and focus on the good?
The main reason, I think there are two, three reasons for this thing. One thing is, when we are young, our mind is only gathering information, and the processing, or the mind that is responsible for decision making or stuff like that, that is passive at that time. So everything is for us new. So we enjoy a lot. For example, when a child see raining, it's raining or rain is pouring, so he goes out and he enjoys that moment. When he sees a small puddle of water, he tries to jump on it and he also enjoys that moment. But when we grow old, we cannot enjoy or cherish these moments, because then we become more judgmental. With the time, we become more judgmental. We start thinking in a materialized way. We start judging every action in a good way or a bad way, whether it give us any benefit or it doesn't benefit us. So we become in a way more selfish, and then the moments which we enjoy in earlyhood or in our early days, later on, maybe if we try to do or even think to do it, may sound silly to us, or if we do it, we may be seen as stupid. But at childhood, it's players to do that things, and even somebody see you doing that stuff, also find uh, it interesting, or is amused by that stuff. So I think it's also the brain matter, that the upbringing, how we are programmed by the god or the nature, that in early phase of our life we are less judgmental, less um, in thinking in a way that is yes or no. We are not thinking in a black and white way. But when we grow old, our most of the actions are black and white, either yes or no. So we think in this way. So I think that's the big point, big difference between two era of life.
Well, knowing that, I agree. As we grow older, we get more involved with what others think, and we stop validating ourselves. However, if we decide to enjoy life, don't we need to accept ourselves as we are?
I think that's the first principle of success or the entrepreneurs. The people who started the journey of change, either it's their change of their inner self or their own self, or change in the society. At the start, they are being called as idiots or stupids and stuff like that. But later on, when they achieve something, the people also realize, the societies also realize. So I think it starts by this way. Yeah.
So, if that's how it starts, is it really a fairy tale when we were young, or is it a fairy tale when we're old because we don't trust ourselves to believe we can do what we want to do?
Tricky question. Fairy tale in the young age, we have less, we self belief is different in younger age and the old age. uh, uh, in it's the purity in young age. Our soul is very pure. It doesn't have that negativeness, that prejudice and stuff like that, the judgmental. We are less judgmental, but in
That's
our older,
the point.
yeah.
That's exactly, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but that is the point. Our soul doesn't change because we're growing older. Our we lose, do we lose connection with our soul and who we are?
I think like we eat to stay healthy, like we need to stay informed of the circumstances or the growing environment around us. Also, the soul needs also its food, and the food of soul is a debate that somebody will say, okay, the music is the food of soul. Somebody will say the yoga. It's a matter of debate, but I think if not taken care well, the soul also decline or becomes weaker with the age. So the people with a stronger soul, they have a stronger will, they have a stronger aims or motivation. They are higher. Their self belief is very high. Their self awareness is level is very high.
So we can gain that self-awareness again, correct?
Yeah, sure. That is what we are trying to through from Rehan. Allahwala.
True. And having said that, do you have any words that you want to part with for our audience?
I will say one thing, that whatever you are, wherever you are, or wherever you will be, just always take care of the people surround you or belongs to you, or yeah, you are responsible for them. Because later or sooner comes the time when we don't have the luxury of their time, their company. So do care and respect others who are near you before it's too late. Either they left you from this world, or they depart from this world altogether. So take care of others and respect them before it's too late. Yeah.
And can we also feel that the whole world belongs to us and make the whole world our family?
We as an individual are our world in itself. So it's first we need to explore our world ourselves, and then yeah, you have a point. That's also a world. So with the peace, like you say, the Institute of Peace. So with the peace and with the harmony, we can yeah, the whole world is ours, and we can spread this message. That's a good message. Yeah, that's a good point, that we can make it as a world. And I think that's what we are doing through this interview series and through this Rehan Allahwala. That's all this all about, that whole world is ours, and we are trying to make a difference by our efforts and make it better place to live and to survive. Yeah.
Wonderful. And with that, believe it or not, we have been talking over 30 minutes. How do you
Okay.
feel now?
Yeah, good. Time goes by very fast, and I didn't realize that we have been talking from last 30 minutes, and it has been very pleasant discussion with you. And I thank you that you give me an opportunity to talk to you on this platform and to share my opinions and ideas about different aspects of life, about my personal journey, or how or where I want to see myself in future. I am highly thankful for this. Yeah.
Thank you so very much for speaking with me tonight. And I want to thank our audience for watching, and Rehan Allahwala for supporting this through the Institute of Peace. which is promoting peace one conversation at a time. And with that, can we wave goodbye? Don't go anywhere, just wave goodbye. And we're going to end this now. Thank you
Goodbye.
so very, very much.